We're developing software called Aflex. So imagine that somebody asks you, I need to know everything there is to know about cancer research with infants. If you want to know the answer to that question, you have to do a systematic review. This is a special kind of research review in which you start with thousands of articles that you might find from a simple search query, and you narrow them down systematically to make sure that each article is high quality, and you eventually narrow down to perhaps 100 articles, and you do statistics on those to come up with what are the results, what do we really know about this topic. And you can imagine that's a very difficult process. If we start with thousands of papers, I obviously need software tools to help me narrow that down. I can't do it manually. So currently in the systematic review world, there are some software tools, but there aren't enough. I can do basic filtering and keyword search, but if I want to know whether articles have a randomized controlled trial or whether they use blinded assignment of their participants and treatments, that's a manual process. We need humans who are trained to do that. Well, in our software, we're trying to use artificial intelligence and machine learning to automate that. So our software could automatically read the article and say, yes, this article uses a randomized controlled trial, it has a one-arm design of its study, and all of these things we need to know to make sure it's a high-quality study. You know, there are systematic reviews on other topics like software design, or even the business world, sometimes they do it, but medical, I think it's really a life and death issue. We are just starting with this software. We have trained it using about 500 articles that we've manually labeled and tagged up. So we said, these are 500 excellent articles. Here's all the cues and features of those articles that tell us what sort of experiment this is. And using that, we hope the machine learning can learn to identify all those features of new articles. We are just experimenting, getting results, refining it. The key in language is to choose the right learning algorithm. You may have heard of deep learning as an algorithm popularly used by Apple's iPhone Siri agent. It's used by the Google self-driving cars, this deep learning approach. But believe it or not, language understanding is more complicated than driving cars. So we need to apply that, but it's somewhat difficult to apply. But we're working on it. We're excited.